Okay, guys, so we're not going to do any face cam today because psych! I was here all along. Never underestimate Floor Wolf. Okay, so today we are going to be reacting and analyzing a very famous Pokemon video, one of the most famous Pokemon videos of all time. This video is it's from Pimpnite and it's called Epic Magikarp Sweep. It has, I think, 17 million views on YouTube.com. And it's a very famous video. It's from 2011, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So, if there's anybody who doesn't know about me, my name is Wolfe Glick, and I'm the 2016 Pokemon World Champion, and the current North American International Champion, for all you haters. He's not the World Champ anymore. Why does he still say that he is the World Champ? Alright, the National Champion. The North American International Champion is harder to say. The 3-time National Champion, if you want to be technical. Anyway, so I watched this video a long time ago. I don't remember too much about it, but I know that it's very famous, and I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at this video from a competitive lens, right? Because of course, you know, the video is actually pretty short. It's only about 3 minutes 20 seconds long. Yeah, so it's a pretty short video, so this shouldn't take too long. It should be a short video from us today, but I think it could be interesting to just take a look from a competitive lens and discuss the plays that each player is making. So let's get started. There is audio on the video, but I think I just wanted to talk over it. Viewer discretion is advised is the first thing we see. Now we see Jabba, who sends out Lugia, which is shiny, versus U-Jelly, which is Tentacruel. Okay, so if you're the Tentacruel player, you have to be feeling pretty good about this. Lugia, even though it pretends to be a psychic type based on what I thought when I was a kid and I watched this show, and I watched the Pokemon 2000 movie, and everything about... Oh, wait, no, it is a psychic type. Oh, right, it's flying psychic. I always feel like it should be water type. That's what it is. Lugia feels like it should be water type, but it's actually a psychic type. Okay, so I take back what I said. You actually can't be feeling that good if you're a Tentacruel here, because, yeah, Lugia is actually pretty fast and should outspeed you if things are, you know, max speed. Lugia is a bulky Pokemon, though, so it might not be max speed, but yeah, the Psychic versus Water type matchup isn't great on paper. The nice thing, though, is that Tentacruel is really good special defense, and Lugia does not actually have that much special attack, so you might be able to take a few hits here. U-Jelly shows a balloon as well. Okay, that's interesting. So, Lugia takes the opportunity to go for a Light Screen here. I think that's a little bit interesting because, I'm not sped up, am I? Is this just the speed of the battle? Yeah. Light Screen, like, Tentacruel doesn't put on that much offensive pressure, and you're probably more worried about Toxic Spikes, but I don't know. Let's see what happens. Light Screen comes up. And Confuse Ray comes out from Tentacruel. Okay, so that's an interesting first turn choice. I respect it a little bit because, you know, Confusion was at least 50% back in the day. We do see that Lugia outspeeds Tentacruel, which is what we expected. So at least, you know, you have a 50% chance of not attacking. It's definitely a risky play, but I respect it. Okay, Lugia stays in and goes for an Aeroblast. So we've seen Light Screen, we've seen Aeroblast. We maybe Reflect and Roost are the last moves. I think that's what you can infer right off the bat. So let's see how much Aeroblast does. It actually does a lot of damage, and because Jellicent does not have a leftovers or anything, like, or a Black Sludge, that damage is permanent. So it looks like Aeroblast will be a 3-hit KO, but Tentacruel, it's called U-Jelly, so I'm getting them mixed up. Tentacruel is for Toxic Spikes. Okay. So I think what you need to do if you're each player in this position, especially, well, if you're the Lugia player in this position, I think you have to be assessing, how are you going to win this game, right? How are you going to get rid of these Toxic Spikes? Does Lugia have, this is a gen before Defog removes stuff, I think. Yeah, so I think you have to be thinking about a Rapid Spin user or a Poison type right now. Lugia is confused. It gets another attack off, so it gets another Aeroblast off. That's why Confuser is volatile. Yeah, that will be a 3-hit KO. And Tentacruel goes for another layer of Toxic Spikes. So, Lugia staying in here is interesting to me. It's saying basically, like, either you have no way to remove the Toxic Spikes, or you're not concerned about the Toxic Spikes. One of the two. So we'll have to see what happens. Lugia goes for its 3rd attack. It doesn't get confused this time, so that would break Multiscale if it had it. And Jellicent goes for Rapid Spin. So now we've seen Confuse Ray, Toxic Spikes, and Rapid Spin from Jellicent. I'm a little surprised why I went for Rapid Spin, but let's see. Aeroblast comes out again, and Tentacruel is going to faint. So, if you're the Tentacruel player, you can't feel that bad about how this trade went, because, like, okay, did you lose a Pokemon? Yes, but it looked like Tentacruel wanted to get KO'd there. So, you got 2 layers of Toxic Spikes up, which I assume was the game plan. So, yeah, let's see what happens now. This should be Roserade, I think. Yeah, Roserade comes in here, it's shiny, and goes for Spikes. Okay. So Spikes is the choice. Snaps out of Confusion, goes for an Aeroblast. This should be Focus Sash Roserade if I had to guess. You can see a health bar dropping slow. This is, what, Gen 4? If it's dropping that slow? I don't even remember. Spikes comes out. So 2 layers of Spikes and 2 layers of Toxic Spikes. Staying in here and continually going for Aeroblast is really, it's risky, right? Because it's clear that the bottom player here they have a plan in mind, and anyone watching this can see that, right? They clearly want to get entry hazards up, and so they don't seem too concerned if their Pokemon get knocked out. So, for that reason, you have to be thinking, okay, how am I going to get rid of these entry hazards, right? Like, because, or maybe you're thinking, I don't need to get rid of the entry hazards, I can win without getting rid of them, but it's looking risky. So, that's the end of Roserade, but it got 2 layers of spikes off, and the interesting thing is that Lugia is faster than Roserade naturally, so, this is clearly not a max speed Lugia. Let's see what happens. Smeargle comes in, and this looks like it's going to be the sweeping time. Spore comes out into Lugia. This is, I think, Gen 4 Spore, so it's more powerful than otherwise. Stealth Rock comes out. So now, okay, let's just take stock here. Stealth Rock, two layers of spikes and 2 layers of toxic spikes. So this is clearly like a setup for something to sweep. Because if you have Smeargle, Roserade, and Tentacruel, like you're setting up for something. So if you're the Lugia player, I think what you should have done, right? And I think this is the big misplay of the game is when you get spored, you need to immediately switch out. The reason for that is that this looks like a Smogon match. And a lot of times in singles, they'll have something called Sleep Clause, where you can't put to sleep more than 1 Pokemon, or you'll lose the game by forfeit. And so, if these players, I don't know what they agreed to, but if they had Sleep Clause, then Lugia really should have switched out there, because that way, nothing else could be put to sleep. And Smeargle, you know, it's very dangerous as a Pokemon, as anyone who's played VGC knows. So, let's see what happens. Not switching out there is not ideal. Belly Drum's gonna happen, but Lugia's taken 2 turns of sleep already, and an Aeroblast will knock it out. It will knock Smeargle out from this range, so it's a little risky to Belly Drum after 2 turns of sleep, in my opinion. But Lugia actually stays asleep, so it gets a 3-turn sleep, and Smeargle reveals leftovers. And now Lugia switches, even though that was the turn where it's gonna be able to attack, which is very interesting to me. But Lugia actually switches into Dialga and takes, you know, 25% more or less, and Baton Pass happens. So, definitely risky. Definitely a risky move, especially because, like, if Magikarp takes damage there, you might be in trouble. Although, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know why Dialga switched in there, but let's see. So now it's a Splash from Magikarp, just being a jerk, and they go for Roar of Time, actually, which is really interesting to me. So they don't go for Dragon Pulse or anything, and now I think is where things get difficult. So it's +6 Magikarp with 1 HP, which is maximum power Flail, which is, I think, 150 base power, but I'm actually not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. And it will go for Flail, and it won't KO the Dialga. However, because Dialga went for Roar of Time, it can't attack this turn. So kind of every single thing that could have gone right for the Magikarp player has gone right. Like, you couldn't have asked for, like, this is like a one, like, it's almost like the opponent was trying to lose. So now they get to go for a second Flail. Now, keep in mind, Magikarp doesn't have a speed boost, so there should be something on this team that can outspeed it, like Lugia, for example, should be able to outspeed it. Oh, but this is old Gen Sleep turn. So if you switch out a Pokemon in Gen 4 or Gen 5 after it has slept for, like, a certain amount of turns, the counter went back to 0. So, for example, if this actually happened in my first ever tournament in the finals, my Hydreigon slept for 3 turns. I think you can sleep for 4 turns this gen, but I'm not sure. I didn't play competitively in doubles, so I'm not sure. But anyway, my first finals of my very first tournament, my Hydreigon got spored by a Amoonguss. I slept for 3 turns, switched out, reset my sleep counter, slept for 3 more turns, and then, yeah, won the game. Spoilers. Okay, let's see. For some reason, though, this Magikarp was faster. Did Magikarp get a speed boost without me realizing? I didn't see it get a speed boost. It's not that fast. It shouldn't be moving before all these Pokemon, but I guess they're just really slow. Palkia comes in, okay. Gets poisoned. Looks like kind of like the Toxic Spikes are a little bit of, like, overkill at this point. They don't seem super needed. Another pressure Pokemon. Flail comes out. That's going to one-shot Palkia, most likely. Yeah, if a one-shot Dialga, or if a two-shot Dialga, it should one-shot Palkia. Kyogre comes in. Now, Kyogre coming in is actually pretty bad here because it would give Magikarp Swift Swim if it has it, so I don't know if Magikarp gets it in this game, and it's Lumberry Kyogre. But we'll see. Drizzle's going to be on the field now. And yeah, at this point, I think the game is most likely over. So yeah, that's the end of Kyogre. I like that they're all shiny as well. And yeah, because of the rain now, like, Magikarp, if it has Swift Swim, should definitely... Lumberry Shaman? What? Doesn't it have a natural career? Okay. And Magikarp goes for Bounce. That's BM, in my opinion. That's definitely BM. Flail is better, but it goes for Bounce, revealing another move. And knocks out Shaman. And Ho-Oh is the last Pokemon. So, thanks to the Stealth Rock, you just take 50% of its health. Yeah. Which allows Magikarp to then get the KO with Flail. So, that's the game. That's all 6 KOs, I think. So, let's talk about what happened. Because let's say you're playing on YouTube, on Wi-Fi, and you run into a streamer or a YouTuber, and they have a weird gimmick, and you don't want this to happen to you. some things to note. Think about like a longer term game plan, right? Because when your opponent starts making certain moves, especially on setup teams, it becomes pretty obvious that what they're doing right now is not their end goal, right? So when the opponent started seeing like toxic spikes off the bat, that was a pretty good indication that, yeah, I don't know, that maybe like there was some kind of end goal in mind. So that was the first thing. Building a team that, you know, doesn't lose to hazards is something that's important in singles, so I think that was kind of a big deal. It didn't look like they had a rapid spin user, they just had 6 legendaries. So yeah, that was a big deal. But yeah, thinking about how your opponent's playing, and okay, let's say you don't have anything to get rid of toxic spikes. Let's say you don't have anything to get rid of spikes. You don't necessarily need to like stop there. You know, like how do I say it? Like, even if you can't deal with the immediate like hazard pressure, you should realize that you're gonna be up, you know, 4-2. And so when Smeargle comes in, you can say, okay, I'm gonna Aero Blast this Smeargle. You put to sleep, switch out immediately, right? That's what you have to do. You have to just, as soon as you can, switch, right? Because that way you don't have to worry about Sleep Claws. You could go into Shaman, who obviously, even if Sleep Claws wasn't on, would at least be immune to Spore. Or if you had something faster than Smeargle, like that could work as well. Although it seemed like that team was really slow, since everything was slower than Magikarp, and I don't think Magikarp is especially fast. So, yeah. So once you got Spored for the first time, or even just when you saw, you know, Smeargle come in, that would have been a good time to go into Shaman, I think, and say, okay, like, let's just go Shaman now. Because if you switch to Shaman on the Spore, you win the game, I think. We didn't see either of the bottom players, like, Pokemon. Or last two Pokemon, we only saw Smeargle, Tentacruel, Roserade, and Magikarp, so we didn't know what the last two were, but, yeah, I think just being aware that your opponent was trying to get something off and doing what you can to stop it. The Roar of Time with Dialga was also pretty bad. Magikarp, even at +6, didn't one-shot Dialga, so going for, like, a Thunderbolt or a Dragon Pulse would have been a lot better there. Even a Flash Cannon, you could argue, because it was still 2-hit KO. I mean, they didn't know that Magikarp was Focus Sash, but those are the kind of inferences that you might want to consider making. Yeah, I don't know. If you see somebody Baton Pass +6 into a Magikarp, you have to think, like, okay, why, right? And then you figure, okay, they're going to try and cheese me, and then you think, okay, like, they can't do that much damage. They don't even have, like, they only have Flail and Bounce, and maybe, I don't even know if it gets Waterfall. Yeah, basically just things to keep in mind. So, if you want to get not gimmicked, you have to think about, like, what your opponent is trying to do, and then build a counterplay to stop that. So, I don't know if this video was, like, staged, because it definitely could have been, but I just assume it wasn't. But yeah, it's a really funny, creative sweep, and I'm really happy that it did so well, because it's great to see, you know, Pokemon content do super well, even if it's super old, because, yeah, I don't know, like, it's still cool to see, like, even though the opponent didn't play super well and kind of threw away their chances to win, the bottom player still had to use a lot of creativity and a lot of tricks to get to that point. So I don't know. I think it's really cool. I think it shows some of the creative, like, it's kind of in my opinion, like a base level creativity, right? Like, get your hazard ups, put something to sleep, and Baton Pass into a Sweeper is like kind of level 1 when it comes to, you know, cool Pokemon strats. But it's really flashy, and also it's an old video, so like, this is before people probably were as creative with how they, you know, pulled things off. So I think it's overall a great video, and I'm really glad. Oh, excuse me. Oh, video, a great video. And yeah, I'm really happy that it did well, and it's just a lot of fun, right? Like, it's a 3.5-minute video. What's wrong with me today? It's like, it's a short video, and it's just fun, and I don't know. I think it's cool, and it's creative. So I don't know. I think it shows, like, that you can, you know, if you try hard enough, and maybe this took like 100 games to get, but you only need, especially if you're gonna make a video out of it, you only need to get it once, and then you've got what you're looking for, you know. So yeah, anyway, I think that's all I want to say. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to Epic Magikarp Sweep by Pimpnite. Go ahead and check out the original video if you're interested, and yeah, please leave a like and subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more content like this. All right, I think that's all I want to say. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.